Hey everybody, Shark Scrapper here with a humble heatsink. Now in the past, my yard used to buy these copper and aluminum heatsinks as copper aluminum radiators. Those are a pretty good price, and that made the decision pretty easy for me. I just throw them in a bucket and sell them as copper aluminum radiators. Well, they've recently changed their policies. Now they're buying them as refinery. That's a lower price. So it's time for Geekshark and I to do a little work and figure out what's the best way for us to sell these moving forward. Come on, let's dive in and find out. All right, step one, we need some representative sampling. So I pulled a few here. We're going to weigh up some number that is easy to do the math with so that we can track what our gain or loss is going to be. I was hoping we were going to have something closer to an even 10 pounds. No such luck. Now, because I have a short sleeve shirt on, I'm wearing these leather sleeves, and I've got my gloves, I've got my hood, I've got a dust mask. So now let's get the timer set. Okay, stopwatch is set. And I don't want you to get all full of dust, so we're going to set you over here. And we are going. Nope, almost. Yeah, there we go. That's what we want. I know some of you might be wondering why I put the leather sleeves on for this. What I have found when I'm in my short sleeve shirt is that the shards of metal that are coming off from the grinding can actually get embedded in my skin, and it gets a little bit irritating. So I've started wearing these sleeves when I'm grinding. It just makes it more comfortable later on, and I'm not getting the metal fragments and the pieces of the disc and stuff like that getting all over my arms and stuff. So if a standard long sleeve shirt would be fine. This just happens, these are welding sleeves that I just happen to have, and they make it a lot more comfortable for me. think you get the picture here. Some of them only needed one cut, and then they would split open wide enough to get the core out of it. Others required two cuts to split the pieces so I could get the core out of it. In any event, it took me 18 minutes and 17 seconds to cut all of these down. All right, so we're going to have 0.35 pounds of shred. The aluminum comes in at 4.09 pounds. And that's going to be extruded aluminum at my yard. And the copper's coming in at 3.98. It's funny, some of that copper is still warm from the grinder. So 3.98 pounds of copper. And the question is going to be, what grade will my yard give this? I believe my yard is going to grade that as #1 copper, just because of the way we've been doing business. So I think they're going to grade this as #1. But when I do this calculation, I will show what the results are if that goes as #1 or if it goes as #2, because sometimes yards don't like these heat sinks. Sometimes they downgrade them because of the alloy. All right, Geekshark, over to you. Was this a waste of time, or did I do okay here? Let me know, bud. Alrighty, well, thank you there, dirty, sweaty, nasty shark. We're going to do the real work now. God, and he gets all the credit. I don't understand. All right, so if we had sold this as refinery, we would have had 8.48 pounds at $0.8 a pound, or 80 cents a pound. We would have received $6.78 and done absolutely no work. Now we're going to look at two cases here, because the copper part in the middle might go as copper #1, might go as copper #2, depends on your yard. So case #1 is when we treat it as copper #1. We ended up with 0.35 pounds of shred, 4.09 pounds of aluminum, and 3.98 pounds of copper. You can see here we're getting, this is actually 8.65 cents a pound. It rounded up in the Excel spreadsheet, but it's actually 8.65 cents a pound. 60 cents a pound for the aluminum, extruded aluminum, and $2.95 a pound for copper #1. So when you do the math, we end up with $14.23. Now in case 2, the only difference is how much we're getting paid for our copper. That's $2.75 a pound. So that brings our total down to $13.43. The difference in value for case 1, so that would have been this $14.23 minus the $6.78. That gives us $7.44. It took us 18.28 minutes to do that, which is 0.3 hour, or a third of an hour. So we would have made $24.42 an hour by taking the time to do this. And that's pretty good. You know, that's not a bad payday. Even if we only get #2 copper, we're still making $6.65 more than we would have. So, you know, almost double what we would have gotten. And that gives us a payday of $21.81. So it, regardless of whether you get paid as #1 or #2 copper for that slug in the middle, or that copper stacker, as my friend E-Waste Ben likes to call them, I'm going to say it's worth the time to do this. So dirty, sweaty shark, get to work, man. Keep up now. All right, well, Geekshark has spoken. It is worth our time to cut these copper cores out of the copper aluminum heat sinks and sell them separately. So that's what we're going to be doing from now on until the yard changes the way they're buying them again, I guess. I don't know. It's always good to check on, you know, prices every now and then and make sure you're still doing the right thing. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and check out these links that are taking you to more return on investment shark scrapping videos so you can see how to make the most money for your time when you're scrapping. Have a great day, everybody.